This is a video product review of the Clearwater P7 flashlight. I do not know the model number, the maker of the model number of this flashlight, so I'm simply going to call it the Clearwater P7 because it uses a P7 LED emitter. So let's put the camera down and get to business here. Okay, so this is it. This is a single 18650 type of flashlight. It's got a black Type 2 anodized finish with a nice knurl finish here and some flats on it. There's the Clearwater logo. It's not laser etched. I believe it's like a paint or a silk screen, so mine is actually kind of rubbing off a little bit. I probably could take it off if I really wanted to, but I'll just leave it on there. So my particular light is, I don't know, almost a year old. So I do not like to review products fresh out of the box and brand new, simply because typically I've not owned the product long enough to discover all the deficiencies in the product. And that's just my opinion. So I've owned this light now for a very long time. It's scratched, it's dinged, it's dented, but now my review is going to be accurate because I know the deficiencies of this product. So anyhow, let's dive in deeper. This is again, it uses a Seoul P7 LED. You can see it's got a very heavy orange peel aluminum reflector and a nice glass lens on the front. I do believe the mechanical junctions and all the segments of this flashlight are O-ring sealed, so it's splash resistant. I've gotten it wet before. I wouldn't dunk it or submerge it, but it's capable of handling like a light rain or something like that. Don't worry about that. I do not know the bin or the flux or the color bin of the Seoul P7. I'm not sure about that. They don't advertise that. So I got lucky. My particular sample has a slight yellow color tint to it, which I don't really mind at all. I don't mind yellows and ambers and slight cream colored tints. It's mainly the blues and the purples that really drive me nuts. So I got lucky in this case. It's got very nice heat sinking around the throat, I guess, area of the light where the light engine resides. And that's pretty much it. It's got a very light tactical strike bezel on the front, and that's pretty much it at the business end. Let's talk about the tail cap end. It's a pretty straightforward affair. Unscrew it. My particular sample has 2 O-ring gaskets at the tail cap and some decently nicely finished threads. The thread finishing and the thread quality aren't terribly special, but it's definitely serviceable. Think low end like Nui or Solar Force type threads. Maybe the higher end MTE and the ultra-far lights are comparable, so think along those lines. Okay, so the body of the light is really well made. It's really thick wall construction, and it dissipates heat very nicely from the LED. There's a view down the barrel of the light. Again, very thick wall construction, so I like that. I like thick body walls are, to me, a nice thing to have in a flashlight, particularly LEDs that are asked to dissipate some degree of warmth and heat away from the LED. Here's the switch cap. Pretty straightforward affair. Nothing really special. Reverse clicky, and I'll talk about that a little bit more when I review the user interface. Let's do this. Charging up the little glow-in-the-dark tail cap, and it does glow. So that's kind of a nice thing to have, a little blue glow-in-the-dark tail cap. There you have it. The B negative spring is covered with this brass slug, so you don't have exposed coil springs down there in the tail cap. That's kind of nice, I think. I kind of wish more flashlights had that little feature. Alrighty. So, cell options. There's basically one cell type that'll work with this flashlight. I haven't tried any other because I'm afraid I'll damage the circuit, but 18650 cells are what they market this product for, and so that's basically what I use. I'm using Sanyo 18650s, and they drop right in. It's a really snug fit. No cell rattle. Very nice overall. And pretty good O-ring engagement between the tail cap and the body of the flashlight. Okay, so I bought this light used on the Candle Power Forum Marketplace for about $25, and at that price, quite frankly, it's a very good deal. It's almost a steal, I think. I've seen it online for as much as about $100, and so at that price, I think you can do better. But for $100, you're getting a nice corrugated box with foam padding, a pair of 18650 cells, and a wall pluggable charger. Okay, so Clearwater is a California-based company. They don't make a lot of lights. Oddly enough, they primarily make high-end audio equipment. But in this particular case, they've ventured into flashlight making, which is fine. That's a great thing, I think. More companies and more choices, more American companies and American choices, quite frankly, are a good thing in my book. Even though technically this light is made in China, and they contract a bulk fabricator in China to make this for them, still, it's a good thing. Okay, so there you have it. Let's see if it tail stands. I don't know. I think it barely tail stands. It's kind of wobbly, so it doesn't perfectly tail stand, but it kind of balances a little bit. So there you have it. Let's talk a bit about the user interface. It is again a reverse clicky, so you simply click it to turn it on, and at that point it behaves like a single mode. Okay, a single mode reverse clicky. You can signal it and half press and SOS or whatever you want to do. Click it again to activate low, and again single mode type signaling and what have you, and then click it again to turn it off. Okay, so that I think that's kind of an annoying feature to have, annoying user interface, that you have to do a full click to get it to switch modes. I'm more comfortable with like half press type mode flipping, but for my use and given how I use this light, it's not such a bad thing, because I simply use the light as a constant on task light. So I'll turn it on high, for example, and just use it in the garage, for example, changing oil under my car and things like that. Okay, or I'll simply turn it on low, flip it to low, and leave it on and read for it with it in the dark. Okay, so it's not the kind of a light, I don't think, that lends itself very, very well to constant mode flipping when used in the field. So a little bit about that in further. I use it as a task light, a constant on task light, because it doesn't generate a whole lot of heat. Okay, so the tail cap current draw is only about 1.45 amps from a single cell. So because of that, the LED temperatures stay very cool, and you're not driving the LED very hard and driving up temperatures. Okay, so you can afford to just simply turn it on and leave it on and use it as a constant on area floodlight or an area task light. So that's actually kind of a nice thing. Okay, so I don't know what the current draw is in low, but I'm going to guess it's, I don't know, maybe 300 milliamps, maybe 35, maybe 350 milliamps ballpark. So I did measure the lumen output of this light in Candle Power 4 member Big Chalice's integration sphere, and this light did about 280 to 300 lumens. So it's nowhere near the 700 lumens that the manufacturer claims on the website, but you know, that's the case with a good percentage of flashlights that are out there. So keep in mind this is only about a 300 lumen flashlight. So okay, so that's pretty much it. Let's pause here and wait till it gets dark, and I'll continue this review outside. I'm going to compare a Cree MCE P60 drop-in module against the reviewed Clearwater P7 light. Both of these lights are about 300 to 350 lumens. Okay, let's dim the lights and get going. First up is the Deal Extreme MCE P60 drop-in. This light measured 350 lumens in Big Chalice integration sphere. And next up is the Clearwater P7. This light measured about 300 lumens in Big Chalice integration sphere. And I'm going to bounce back and forth. There's the MCE P60. And there is the Clearwater P7. And one more time. There's the Deal Extreme MCE P60 and the Clearwater P7, 300 lumens. Okay, so that concludes this product review. Thanks a lot, and I'll catch you guys later.